You won't believe that I made all of this using these. I'm gonna show you how. Listen, let me let you in on a little secret. Not all chefs like cans, but I do. I might get kicked out of a chef's club or lose my chef's card for saying this, but I like canned food, and here's why. And some things out of a can are delicious, maybe even more delicious than you ever realized. Here's one of my favorites, creamed corn. So this is something like, just tastes like sweet corn to me. Tastes like America in a can. Look at that. Okay, first things first, cornmeal. I use like a medium or fine grind cornmeal. 1 1/4 cups of cornmeal. Do that 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. Level it off. We need some stuff that's gonna make the cornbread like puff and rise. You know what I'm saying? All right, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's for that puff factor. And then for taste, a teaspoon of just kosher salt. I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of sugar. I know some people do not put sugar in their cornbread. I'm sorry, but I do. Try it. You'll never go back. All right, that's all the dry. What I love about a cornbread recipe, before I add any liquid, whenever I'm baking, I mix all the dry ingredients together. So make sure all your dry ingredients are really well mixed. That way you don't have to do a lot of mixing once you add the liquid. The liquid in a separate bowl. 2 eggs. 1 cup of buttermilk. Can I use milk instead of buttermilk? No. Could I cheat with sour cream if I don't tell you? Yes. But 1 cup. The important thing is if you're gonna sub in something like sour cream, make sure it's the same amount. Notice I'm breaking up and whisking the eggs. I'm not dragging the flour along for the ride. I mix the wet, add it to the dry, and that way the flour's not overworked. The wet ingredients, I whisk. Then they go into the dry. I mix my batter and I let it sit for like 5 minutes. We'll just let it hang out on the counter and the flour hydrates and it changes your whole batter. So here's that luscious batter. Looks so good already. All this is inspired by the can. Don't be afraid of canned food. Don't give cans a bad rap. I'm not. I love it. So I'm gonna melt a stick of butter right in the skillet where we're gonna make the cornbread. I've got my oven preheating at 350 degrees. Okay, now the magic, the cream corn. I'm gonna add 3/4 of the cream corn. Look at that. See how that batter's just, it's resting. It's getting a little thick. What about the rest of the can, you're saying? I'm gonna put it in here. That tiny crack of pepper here. This is just a little canned cream corn butter. 1/2 stick of, say, soft butter, right? Right in here. I knew we were making like a little buttery, jammy thing for the top of cornbread from a can. And we'll let that sit out. And just let that be kind of room temp while we finish our cornbread. Melted butter. Is that swirl the butter around because this is where we're gonna bake the cornbread and we're greasing the pan at the same time, right? Leave a little bit of that excess butter in there, in the skillet. It smells like a buttered ear of corn from a can in this kitchen, right in here. I don't like to heat the skillet up. A lot of people do that and you can, but in this case, I just pour it right in the skillet when we melted the butter. We're gonna put this in the oven, 350 degrees, 30 to 35 minutes. Canned cream cornbread. The thing about this is the can made this so much better. See that like in the middle, that like moist canned corn? Butter on top. Or you could just put it on the side. All right, let's dig in. Cornbread, first bite. I have made this skillet cornbread 8 million times. The cream corn, all the difference. Luscious. The cornbread's at like a 9.9. The can makes it a 14.7 out of 10. That's all. Not a big deal. Buy a can, change your life. Or don't. Listen, let me let you in on a little secret. Not all chefs like cans, but I do. I might get kicked out of a chef's club or lose my chef's card for saying this, but I like canned food, and here's why. We all have cans that sit in our pantry and collect dust. I'm almost guaranteed you've got something like this in your pantry, and I'm gonna show you how to use it. So first things first, what's my favorite thing to make with this? Carrots and peas. So nostalgic. I feel like when you say carrots and peas to people, what do they think immediately? Something like meatloaf, right? These vegetables are cooked, which is helpful, right? Saves a step. Carrots and peas. So nostalgic. The smell, like the metallic of the can. I'm draining off. I'm gonna make a classic with carrots and peas, chicken pot pie. I'm gonna make the sauce for the chicken pot pie. So important. 4 tablespoons of butter or half a stick. Just melt it. And to that, I'm gonna add 1 onion slice. This is a large white onion, or you could use 2 small yellow ones. Nice pinch of salt. And this is the base of the sauce. So I want to put a little onion in there for texture and for taste for the base of the pot pie. For the chicken, a couple cups of pulled chicken, rotisserie chicken, roast chicken you got left over. Chicken. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour, just to make sure that everything thickens up. Stir that right in there. It'll start to absorb the butter a little bit. We don't want to brown this. Don't cook at high heat, and don't be worried. It's fine. So why add flour here? We want this to thicken up. If we just add stock and cream and cook it, it's gonna be like liquid. The flour holds everything together. It thickens and gives the stock and cream texture and body. So it's like a cream sauce. 2 cups of stock. Smells good. You see this is the base of our pot pie already? All right, I've got my pot for my pot pie. Let's brush it with a little butter, just as a little insurance policy, and also because it just tastes good. I've got the chicken. Again, just cooked chicken, flaked up. Season the chicken a little bit. Just a pinch of salt. Add those drained carrots and peas. Mix this together. That's all mixed together. A little pepper, not too much. It's nice to give it a little pepperiness. See how this get nice and thick? That's from that flour. Otherwise, this would be soupy. Cup of cream. Oh yeah. I'll get a little fresh parsley. Don't add it if you don't have it. It just gets thicker and thicker. It's just nutmeg. The whole nutmeg. Couple grates in there. Lifts up the cream sauce. You don't know what's there. It's like, why is this so good? All right, that little bit of fresh parsley right in the pot pie mix. Once this boils and gets nice and thick, first it'll bubble and boil, and you want that to happen because you want the flour to cook. Then literally pour it into a bowl to get it cool a little bit. I'm gonna let this cool a little bit, and then we'll mix. Cream sauce, canned vegetables in all their glory. The can works its magic, and look at this. And that can would have sat in the pantry for another 2 years. What are you waiting for? Bust the cans out. Look at that. All you need is a can-do attitude. You know what I mean? Canceled. Everything in the dish. So pretty. Look at that. Puff pastry. Buy it in the supermarket. Unfold it. Here it is. For this whole sheet. Just like making a bed. And then we go on top. Fold the corners under. And then just pinch. And then you're just going to do what we call docking the dough. Just going to take a fork and make a few incisions to allow the steam from the chicken and the sauce to escape inside. It also makes a cool pattern, so you look really chefy. Some egg wash. This is going to make it golden brown. Beautiful. By the way, you can make this whole thing, wrap it in plastic, and put it in your freezer like this, and bake it 3 days from now if you want. This can be like some little secret dinner you have hiding in the freezer, in the oven. 400 degrees, 20 minutes, or until golden brown. What we really want to do here is cook the pastry. Everything else is cooked. This puff pastry is just... And...
chicken papa.
Papa. Look at that. My first bite. Most importantly, those carrots and peas. Front and center. Mmm. Cooked chicken. Carrots and peas. That bit of nutmeg in the sauce. That buttery puff pastry on top. Mmm. Taste that crust. Oh, yeah. Mmm. This is just so comforting. So nostalgic. All right, the can-inspired dinner, and it didn't disappoint. It's not on our shelf. It's in our stomach. Delicious. Make this. Right now, come on. The next can dish I'm making, I don't even know what it is because I don't know what's inside the can. Okay, so the people that helped me make these videos, I told them I wanted to cook with cans, canned food today, and they wanted to play a little game with me and give me some cans of food that they want to see me cook with. I don't know what it is. We're going to open it together and make something delicious.
Good luck, Jake.
Mystery cans. So what do you think it is? Okay, there's liquid. So it could be, I mean, my first guess is some type of soup, right? Could be fruit. Could be beef stew. There's only one thing to do when you don't know what stuff is. Identify the food. All right, let's see. Ah, one of my favorites. Canned peaches. Oh, you guys could have been way harder on me.
We want dessert, chef, that's why.
Aha! All right, you want dessert. This is gonna make an amazing dessert. So first, taste evaluation. Do they taste like they did when I was a kid? And then I watched my mom put these over cottage cheese, and she would eat like a cup of the syrup and 2 peaches. Mmm. Great texture. I could go so many directions with this. I could make roasted peaches. I could make a jam. I could make a cake and just cover it with all the peaches. I could make a peach melba. I could make a peach pie. I could make a cute little peach tart like we're in a French bakery.
No.
No?
No.
Too fancy?
Yeah.
I can make a peach crumble.
Yes.
Oh, now we wake up and we come to the party. All right, looks like I'm making a peach crumble. I don't want these people unhappy. I'll be right back. I'm excited because I love a crumble. And by the way, you could make a cobbler or a tart or a pie with this just as easily. I don't know what it's like for you at home, but I got a demanding group of people around here. If you do too, make this and everybody will love you. I'm gonna drain the peaches. I'm just gonna let them drain over here. You can make this crumble topping and literally keep it in your freezer. Open a plastic baggie and just use it whenever you want. This is just something I keep in my back pocket. You never know when your friends are gonna manipulate you into making a crumble on camera, which I'm sure happens to everyone every day, right? 3/4 of a cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of oats. Really good for a crumble topping. Great texture. I'm gonna say like 3/4 of a stick of butter. I'm just gonna cut it up a little bit. Cut up the butter right in here. I've got some pecans, like about a 1/2 cup. And pecans have like a great toasty note because they have honestly delicious skin. Right in there. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Why? Why cinnamon? So good. But guess what? I'm gonna put 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. Gives it like this little kick. I added 1/2 cup of dark brown sugar, and now you just want to work those pieces of flour and the dry ingredients together. You just want to do this, kind of just spread the butter into littler pieces and work it in with the sugar. Now we have, and as you're rolling it, you'll feel like the texture from the oats, the texture from the crunchy pecans. You're gonna smell that cinnamon, smell that ginger, and the salt is just making it all even stronger. Square pan for the crumble peaches that I've been draining. And even while I just let the peaches sit there, you see I got all this extra syrup off them. To this, just to give it a little flavor. So, teaspoon of vanilla right over the peaches. A little lemon zest, lightly. Just scrape that outer layer. Should smell floral to you. The lemon here, just the zest, is actually going to be a little bit bitter. We want some things that offset the syrupy sweetness of the canned peach. Lemon juice. Or maybe you're going to just do, well, cut a lemon. I hate when people are like, quarter of a lemon. Just use the lemon. It's fine. I'm going to add a pinch of brown sugar. I'm going to add a pinch of brown sugar. This. Okay. Just a pinch. Let's say 2 tablespoons. Just a little bit. Do I need to grease the pan? Too late. Let's not bother.
Yeah, one guy who didn't make it.
Oh, he got a jumper. Hold on. All right. And then all that crumble topping right on top. Look at that. We're ready to go in the oven. These are already cooked, so we're gonna do higher heat to get this brown quickly. 375 degrees, 25-30 minutes, or until the top is browned. We know it's cooked. We just gotta brown that top. So while that's in the oven, I've got all this syrup, which is really sweet. It's delicious. We should use it, but it's super sweet. So when I think of peaches, I automatically think bourbon. And I'm gonna make like a little bourbon sauce. Because you guys wanted me to.
Yeah.
But I wanna burn the alcohol off. Just step back. I'm just gonna burn the bourbon. You don't always have to flambe something. You can burn the alcohol just off the alcohol. And that's what I'm doing here. Don't add any other liquid until the flames subside and your alcohol is reduced. Otherwise, it just tastes like you spilled a drink in your dish. And you don't want to do that. But here's our little bourbon sauce. So I use like half a cup of bourbon. You don't have to be as wild as I am. I don't know how demanding your friends are. Cook the alcohol down until you have like a few tablespoons, say 2 tablespoons of liquid. Now, we can't use all the syrup. There's a lot. You can save this syrup and use it. I'm gonna use, say, we'll do like half a cup. I got a little of that lemon that I already squeezed. I may as well put a little bit of that in there. Brighten it up. You can also add a dash of vinegar. This is super easy to make while your crumble is baking in the oven. And just let this cook so it's nice and syrupy. All right, see how this has gotten like syrupy and reduced, kind of golden browned? That's what we're looking for, right? Just to show how much we can elevate. I'm gonna put this in a fancy little pitcher, which you don't have to do. I'm just being snarky. Yeah. Oh, this smells so good. It smells like cinnamon. I can smell the ginger. And look at those peaches poking out like, ha. All right, let's get in here. All those edges. Oh, so hot. All right, so some ice cream. And now our canned peach bourbon syrup. You just did this so you all can eat this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
All right, so you guys eat it.
Oh, we are pulling that side too, so there we go. Yeah,
Hey, you're a little coward. You ordered hard.
oh my god.
I trust him. He's always painfully honest.
Okay.
You're like, oh my god.
Oh my god, it's got like a je ne sais quoi.
Tell me what it's giving.
Is it a vibe?
It's my favorite thing you've made so far. Ever. It's really good.
Really?
Well, this is like my favorite dessert.
It is?
Yeah. I really like cobwebs.
You do?
And that's a good one.
It's a crumble.
I mean, it's close. They're all in the
It's
same.
a crumbler.
It's a crumbler.
Yeah, it's a crumbler.